On the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee. The mother of Jesus was there, and both Jesus and his disciples were invited. Weddings in Jewish culture lasted for days, filled with joy, music and feasting. Wine was not only a drink, but a symbol of blessing and abundance. Yet in the middle of this celebration, a crisis arose. The wine ran out. What was meant to be joy was about to become shame. For the family, this was more than a mistake, it was disgrace. In that culture, to run out of wine meant dishonor that could stain their name for years. The music might still play, but tension spread. Guests began to notice, and fear gripped the hearts of those hosting. Yet there was hope, for Jesus was present. He was not there by chance. He had been invited. Where he is invited, he brings answers. Without him, the feast would collapse into humiliation. For the family, this was more than a mistake. It was disgrace. In that culture, to run out of wine meant dishonor that could stain their name for years. The music might still play, but tension spread. Guests began to notice, and fear gripped the hearts of those hosting. Yet there was hope, for Jesus was present. He was not there by chance. He had been invited. Where he is invited, he brings answers. Without him, the feast would collapse into humiliation. Mary did not argue. Instead, she looked at the servants and said, "Whatever he says to you, do it." These words are the essence of faith. She brought the need to Jesus, accepted his answer, and pointed others to obey him. Discipleship is built on this same principle. Trust his word and do what he commands. The servants did not know what would happen, but their obedience would open the door to a miracle that would change everything. Nearby stood 6 large stone water pots used for ceremonial washing. Each held 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus told the servants, "Fill the water pots with water." They did not question him, though the command seemed strange. They carried bucket after bucket until every jar was full, right to the brim. Their obedience was total, not partial. They did not know the outcome, but they followed his word exactly. This is the heart of obedience. God's instructions may defy human logic, but miracles come when faith meets obedience. The servants could have filled halfway, but they did not. They could have asked questions, but they simply obeyed. Miracles rarely follow half-hearted obedience. Faith is trusting his word, even when it makes no sense. The filling of the jars set the stage for what Jesus was about to do. Then Jesus said, "Draw out now, and take it to the master of the feast." Imagine the servants' hearts racing as they dipped into the jars. They carried what looked like water, yet by the time it reached the governor's lips, it had become wine. Not just wine, but the finest ever tasted. The governor marveled, saying, "Most serve the best wine first, but you have saved the best until now." This was no ordinary miracle. It was transformation. Ordinary water became extraordinary wine. The water pots represented old rituals of purification, human effort and law. The wine symbolized joy, grace, and the new covenant Jesus came to bring. He does not merely refill what is empty. He transforms it into something greater. What once cleansed the body now became a sign of the Spirit's abundance and joy. John writes, "This beginning of miracles did Jesus in Cana of Galilee, and manifested forth his glory, and his disciples believed on him." The miracle was not just about saving a wedding from shame. It was about revealing who Jesus truly is. His glory was displayed, and faith grew in the hearts of his disciples. This was their first glimpse of his divine power and purpose. Notice where this miracle happened, not in the temple or before kings, but quietly in a small village wedding. Jesus reveals his glory not only on mountains or in great revivals, but in ordinary life. He is present in homes, families, and daily needs. Do not wait for a grand stage to see him. His power is shown wherever he is welcomed, even in the simplest of moments. The miracle calls us to 3 responses. First, invite Jesus in early. Do not wait for the crisis. Second, obey fully. Fill your jar to the brim. Third, trust his transformation. He can turn emptiness into abundance, sorrow into joy. When life runs dry, Jesus saves the best for last. What he provides is always greater than what we have lost. In him, the feast of life never ends. So let us remember the lesson of Cana. Jesus is the one who turns water into wine. He is the one who restores joy, removes shame, and brings life more abundant. Mary's words still echo. Whatever he says to you, do it. Let that be our prayer and our commitment. If we obey him, he will transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, and we will see his glory revealed in our lives. If this story of Jesus' first miracle strengthened your faith, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like to show your support. Share this video to encourage someone who needs a reminder of God's power to transform. And subscribe so you never miss another life-changing word from Scripture.